welcome back to the channel, and let's just have a quick chat about the run streak. You will have seen the title by now, and a couple of you would already know, but I was on a good run streak. It was 126 days, and it came to a screeching halt this past weekend. So what happened? Well, the last 4 weekends in a row, we've had pretty intense winter storms here in Nova Scotia, Canada, and this weekend was no different. I actually lost power. We had an ice storm, and I lost power from around Friday at noon till well into the evening on Saturday. So, living here in Canada when the power goes out and you have no heat for that long, I mean, as you can imagine, it got pretty cold in the house. I don't have a backup heat source, so it was down to 45 degrees or 7 Celsius in the house after those 31 hours or so. So it was pretty much, bundle up, stay warm, stay under the covers, huddle in the bed sort of deal, and, just ride it out. So where the power went out on Friday, my initial thought was, okay, it might be back on this evening. There's an outage map online that shows an estimated restoration time, and it was showing originally I think 6 o'clock, and then they bumped it to 11 p.m. But I was kind of holding out hope that the power would come back on. I'd just jump on the treadmill real quick, and then by pretty quickly into the afternoon, I realized, all right, that's not going to happen. And it was impossible to run outside. It was just absolutely impossible. It was not it was just freezing rain, ice pellets. We ended up with over an inch of ice caked on everything, the car, everything, by the time it was all done. So it was just not runnable. It would not have been possible to get outside and even run a mile. I could have maybe slipped and slided around, without even lifting my feet for 15 minutes, which would count as a mile, but that's not a run. And I mean, honestly, it was so dangerous out there that, there was a 98% chance I would have gone out there, attempted to move outside for a minimum of a mile, and just seriously injured myself because it was just a sheet of ice everywhere. So, and then on top of that, coming back to a cold house afterwards and no way to warm up in freezing wet conditions, and it's just that was a recipe for injury and hypothermia, so it just wasn't possible. So of course the power did not come back on until Saturday, meaning I couldn't get on the treadmill and run, and I just don't have I've got a small house that's I've got 3 levels, but there's just nowhere to even run inside more than shuffling 10 feet back and forth. So it wasn't even like I had a good long hallway that I could measure it and then run it for 10 minutes and get a mile in and just know that I did it. It just wasn't possible. So anyway, power came back on Saturday, and it's Monday morning as I'm recording this now, and I was so just kind of disheartened and disgusted by the whole situation. I didn't run yesterday, didn't run Saturday. I'm going to run today. I'm going to just pick up my training again and just kind of basically, I guess this is almost like a real week 1, but it's week 2 of half marathon training. The run streak thing was something that I had intended to take until the end of 2022. I've done a year-long run streak before, so I know I can do it. And it's not an ego thing. It's not like, oh man, I need to run every day to prove something. But at the same time, I do kind of feel like I was, cheated in a way. Because it wasn't anything that I had control of. And it wasn't any reason, to do with me as to why the run streak ended. So I feel like I was, cheated or robbed in a way, but at the same time, I recognize that, it doesn't really matter. So I made the right choice to not get outside and injure myself. And actually Jamie mentioned that to me as well. She's like, yeah, you could go out, but if you hurt yourself and then you can't run, you're going to feel even crappier about it than breaking the streak. And she's absolutely right. She's always a voice of reason and stuff like that. And yeah, I mean, it is what it is, but I obviously felt like I could have kept that going no problem through the half marathon training and then getting into 50K training for later this year, doing my first ultra and just kind of, see where it led. I was excited about the prospect of just doing it for the sake of doing it. But I will say this, the run streak, when I started on October 1st, there was a purpose. There was a reason behind it. And that purpose was to get me out of a rut, get me back running, get me into a routine, get me excited about running again. And that absolutely served its purpose. So, like, although the streak is over, it carries forward in what I'm going to do next and what I'm going to continue to do with my running, with the training now for the half marathon, and just getting excited about it again. It's a bit of a bummer, but at the same time, I recognize that the whole point in doing the run streak was to get me excited again. I hadn't done a lot of running since my injury in 2019. I've had a few little bouts here and there where I've run some and, maybe for a few good months, trained for an event, did a nice half marathon time trial where I got a great, personal best. But then I'd fall off again. And just with so many things going on in the last couple of years in personal life and stuff, like some major things happening, it's just running kind of always had to take the back seat. And now, end of 21, got back into it, did the run streak, got through the end of the year, got out in some, tough conditions, ran on the treadmill a lot to the point that I actually enjoy the treadmill now. So, hey, there's progress, there's growth, right? Yeah, and just, feeling good about running again and just feeling excited to run regularly. So, anyway, run streak served its purpose, but it is over. 126 days, it's done, whatever, it is what it is. I can feel bitter about it, but the healthier thing would just be to let it go. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. Continue with my training, keep the same structure. Mondays and Fridays are going to be rest days. I may run, I may not run, whatever happened on those days weren't factored in on my kind of weekly schedule and training plans and goals. So I'll just continue to do that and, just see what happens. Keep working towards that sub 140 half in May. I think it's like May 7th or 9th or something like that. So I've got, 3 good months to go at it. So anyway, just wanted to put an update out there, let you guys know what had happened, let you know the run streak is over in case anybody's following on Strava and say that I haven't done anything in the last 3 days, so that's why. But I'm going to jump on the treadmill here in about an hour, get this week underway, and just carry on. So thanks very much, everybody, for the words of encouragement over this last 126 days, and looking forward to more comments down below. All right, peace, guys.